Hello, and welcome. This is Jolene with Adult Design, and we are here tonight on an unusual night. For a while there, my reveals were Sundays and Mondays, but it's Thursday. It's been a holiday weekend. We did what we need to do. So I released a new winter kit on the 30th of June, right before the July sales and the 4th of July, and realized I hadn't really shown it to you guys. So if you follow me on Instagram, or you follow me definitely on my Etsy shop, you got notifications saying this is up and running. But I haven't even had a chance to really make it a focal point because we've got the book stacks and florals, and we had that was featured on a couple YouTube channels, and of course my own. And then of course the big sale has been the handmade journals up through yesterday. And so, by today, of course, this will be featured now on the top. So it'll be easy to find along with my book stacks and many others. But it is July, and it's Christmas in July. And for me, Christmas in July also means winter. So I have snowy winter kits, and I have pink shabby kits, and a number of things. So I just realized I'm looking down to it. I'm missing half my jewelry. My Fitbit is charging. And apparently I went to put lotion or something on. I don't even know. And my rings aren't even on today. It's a very blah, sort of bling deal, but we're going to let this speak to us. So thank you for joining us. And if you're new to us, I said my name is Jolene. I'm with Adult Design. I'm a digital designer for junk journals, memory keeping, and some planner work. And of course, I also take all these lovely printouts and make my own handmade journals at the same time. So the Etsy shop is listed down below in my description. Is the upside down triangle thing or the show more on my text description, and all my links are down below, so you can find the Etsy shop. I will usually feature this directly, so you can click on one link and find it right away. And of course there's a link tree page which shows everything I'm associated with. So on and upward. So we start off with pages, and I will move let's move the ephemera out of the way for a moment. And we have another snowy winter. This is volume 3, and I swear every year I do this. My skills change, the graphics change, the things I can get access to. My kits definitely have evolved with me, which is great, but they all still work together. So they had the blue and white pattern in my second kit, I think. I've added lace to it this time to make it a little softer. We've always done deer, I think, in all 3 kits. There's my snowman that's in 2 or 3 of my kits, like that birds and critters, snowy trees. Some of it's photographs, some of it's what we call vector work. But it's all blended together, and I think that there's pieces like this that help pull from the other kits. So they all really blend well together, and usually are in about the same blue tone. They're a little bit more on the gray or the blue-green, but they're not too teal. They're very much a blue kit. Because I have a lot of pink shabby, and shabby Christmas at home, shabby winter. I have plenty of that shabby lace stuff in pink. I have to represent my blue too, and I love Christmas. I love decorating for Christmas, but there's always a good sized section of my house that has snowmen in blue. Besides the vintage sort of Christmas feel, I have my house sort of divided. Like the living room is vintage, and my kitchen, which has always been blues and sages, represents my blue snowman Christmas, or snowman winter. So I feel that my Etsy shop should, of course, do the same thing. So we have a gorgeous little bluebird, but he also has a rustic reddish tone to his chest, which is great. He's on this beautiful set of pine cones and berries and pine branches. And of course we have our sort of a feel of a ripped page as if one's underneath the other, and we have a very handsome elk, and I think it's elk because he's got some really big antlers there. I think that's elk. I don't think it's moose. I think it's elk. So anyway, but he's got a cute little bunny in the background. You gotta have your bunny, or little white snowy bunny. But hopefully you like this. I try to put enough layers in it to give it a nice feel of texture. You have to really look at it when you print. There are snowflakes, there are snow splatters, there's the little lights. I don't know, there's a lot to it. There's some great photos and pages in it, and all of them of course fold nicely in half like we always do. So we've got our bird on this side with the wood and a little bit of the snowy pine branches, and the other side is just that. So this is a great place to add your belly bands and your corner pockets and anything else you want to lay on it. It's a great background. But as usual, I always make sure that these do fold in half beautifully to a standard 9x6 journal. Even when you rip this stuff, take off just the edge of your paper, whether you rip it off or cut it off, you get pretty much a, 8 a little over 8 by a little over 5.25, 5.35 pieces of paper with a 9x6, cover. It's a nice room to where if you put laces and things and fun stuff over the edges, they just stick out. So here's where we get, bits and pieces again. When you fold it, you have this lovely page feel. And then this one, gives you something a little more simpler. So everything is both left and right if I can help it. But this is what we got going. We've got, like the snowy hills with the city in the background and more spikes, and I just want to layer it. I wanted to make sure that not just one picture overlapped another, one picture overlapped another. Elements intertwined, gave us some texture, but it had our little critters, and these owls are just hilarious. I love them. Not hilarious, but they're cute. They're blue and white. Our fox, again, a very snowy fox that blends right in. Really got to look for them. But the mountains in the background, you've got the city. Then we have our plaid and our branches and our snowy elements. So this one definitely goes right down the middle very beautifully. You've got our elk on one side. We've got our bird on the other. You could rip this blue off if you wanted a really edged page, or you just trim it and you have, again, that ripped wood feel on the paper. We get our snowman, or a featured guy, and I think in volume 2. I think volume 2. Could be volume 1. I don't know. They all come intertwined after a while. I can't remember which one's which. The backgrounds are all new this year, but there are elements that are new and that are old that sort of help blend everything together. So we got more critters with this cute little brown bird. But he literally sits on the page to where when you pet him, he's hanging out with Mr. Snowman. And then our fox and our birdie and the beautiful things in the background. And then, as usual, my printer printed lines, because any kind of solid imagery they don't like. My printers just... You shouldn't have lines, but some HPs, when you get very solid, simple imagery, the ink heads literally come across and they do not overlap each other. But unless you want really, really, really dark pages, then you do high quality print. But that's a lot of ink. Aren't these guys adorable? So you've got one page where he's up here, right, hanging out on the plaid and the snowflakes, and then on this side you have him coming up from the side, and I thought it was really cute because you could put pockets underneath here and he started peeking out of everything. Aren't they adorable? They're watercolored and they're splattered and they're just all over fun layers. Something simpler, just a nice easy ordeal. Snowflakes are winter butterflies, which I thought was a great saying I found. I love the coloring, so it worked really easy. Well, it was a different color. I made it this color. I take that back. But I thought it was just great. I hadn't seen that in a while. Like, I need some kind of saying, and I thought, oh, that works. There's so much snowflakes and so much snow, of course, for a snowy winter. So it's a nice simple page. I gave you a journaling page, so you can elements again. Again, you fold it down the middle for the most part, depending on how your printer deals. Close enough. And you've got two easily, back it on anything you want, writing pages to make this a nice December daily journal. You have to do a little bit more work on these guys, where you'd have to find, you could cut these pages out and glue them right on top. You could make some of your own pages if you wanted to. I know some of the kits I've done it where half a page is cleared out so you can write on it. Others I have not. So in this case I just gave you a journal page to do as you saw fit. We have our background pages. There's 14 in total, from decorative to background to pattern. Again, here's our snowflakes and our lacy plaid that overlap. We have, and I flipped it because on the other side we had our birdie, so this way you get some of our snowy branches on the left side instead of always on the right, overlapping our wood. So again, these are great for pockets. These are great for some of the lovely, we have pocketed tags and whatnot on this one. We've got some larger things this round. I did do the reverse, so you can print this baby either way. Doesn't really matter. You have things upside down and right side up. Snowflakes, critters, textured backgrounds, but everybody's, both directions 2 or 3 times so that you have a nice, fun, hopefully, pattern critter page. And then, of course, a plaid by itself. And there is a 14th page, which is on the back of some of the ephemera I'll show you, which is really pale. It would be great. So there you go. That's what it sort of started out. I was like, I have this in pink. Can I make it blue? Of course I can. And then, all the other guys started falling into place. So it's 14 pages of backgrounds, backings, patterns, and decorative. Okay. Woohoo! There's that. Then it also comes with 10 pages of ephemera. So we have our 4-flap large journal card envelope. We have some fussy cuts / more like little squared embellishments where you can cut out accordingly. And you've got cute little things. Like, they're not quite stamps, but, you know, they're great clusters. You can cluster it if you want. You can make it more of a square. You can distress it. And here's your background. This is page number 14 of the page side. It's really pale, really light. I mean, really pale, guys. It is super pale. But it is the blue, snowy pine branches that we're getting in the background. So depending where it prints, like this one, the lighter side is more where the pocket, where the envelope is. The lighter side is where the embellishments are, but you could make these two-sided. You could tuck them into things, and you would have a little bit of a background to write a quick little saying on, right? Okay. We have the instantly back journal cards. I gave you the texture, so when this one, you definitely want to cut outward a little bit to be on the safe side. And then when you fold it and glue it, you're going to trim it according to this, and you'll just have a little bit of a white space, like it's snow on the edges. And then you can distress it accordingly. So the blue on the back is a smidge smaller than the front due to that white fuzzy feather effect to give that white page. So I would definitely cut a little wide and cut this one perfectly at first. Cut maybe a little wide on this one, fold it down the back, make sure it looks good and lines up to where, yes, you will see excess over here, and you can just recut it so that you have a nice clean white sort of snowy window pane type of feel when you do that. But if we get a moment, maybe I'll cut that and show you. But yeah, it's a little bit more work. If you cut it too close, you're going to cut off this. Not that isn't a problem either. You can do both, but you get 4 of those. And they are both ways. So we have vertical, 2 vertical, and we have 2 horizontal. So however you want to stick it in your pocket, and the backing doesn't matter. You can write on it in any direction you want. Then these are the taller pocket tags. So you get your tall pocket, or tall backing, your pocket, and then the tall tag that goes in it. And if you do it right, you glue it, where you can either glue just 2 sides, so you can stick something else behind the big tag. Or you can do 3 sides and get another tag behind it, or completely flatten it out and just use the one pocket. So you get either way. And then there's a second one, and this one has the ability with the window. So the birdie fits just right inside here. So you cut out the window, you glue down the 3 sides, and you put in your pocket and your tag, and your tag can be seen through this window. Now, I did make this smaller, so if you decide, nope, I don't want to, you could take those 4 clusters and you could decorate. I've done it where I didn't want to, and I've decorated up this white pocket with elements, and it just gives me an ability to cluster in a specific area, and I don't have to feel like I have to go too far out of those boundaries. So it gives you both options. Then we have the large double pocket tag. So here is our background, which I realized when I did that was sort of silly. You're not going to see all of that. I don't know why I did that when I should have done this here, and I think I got excited and forgot what I was doing, but that's okay. If you wanted to use this on your own and find another way to decorate it, it does give you that option. Otherwise, we glue this onto this, we put this onto here, we put this on here, and tuck our cute little things into it. So we'll do that project in a moment so we can see how that turns out. Otherwise, what you could do is cut this out, use it as a template, put it over one of the other, I didn't give you guys that by itself. Maybe that's why. I'm like, I didn't give you guys that page by itself. I used it as a textual piece so many times over. This page right here, I probably should have done, that's what I probably should have done, was put that there as like I did here. And, oh well, doesn't matter. It's super cute. You can find ways to use it. But we can make this large pocket tag here in a moment. But you get those elements to be creative and use as you see fit. We have some small washi band, belly band elements. I didn't want to go too tall because I realized with the book stack, this is like 10.5 inches, and it's way too big for any page. So I made 2 small ones that you guys could put on the side of a page, bottom of a page. This one would be sort of cute. You could go across the page and down the middle. This, because they go in all directions, this one is definitely top to bottom, so maybe you could put lace behind it and make that your centerpiece of a belly band. And then you do have a journal card tag sleeve. So between the any of the extra tags you want to see and the journal cards in here, you can make your own little wraparound journal card holder and put that also in your journal. We have a smaller 4-flap envelope. with a cute saying on it, and the 6-up sort of square journal cards bordered that I make do fit inside this. I actually enlarged this a little bit to fit this 3.8 by 3.2 card. So, these have a place to hide and hold if you want. We have our square cornered pocket, a little flag, and some extra little stamps there to decorate with along with the other clusters. And then, like I said, we have the 6-up larger square cards that I started making with the colored and the sort of bordered background. So you've got the white borders and you have the blue borders to help enhance everything. So got a little bit of everything. This one can be horizontal or vertical. Same, that one's vertical. These are afraid all horizontal, but these two can definitely be, cute vertical options. Because he goes both ways and it really doesn't matter. He's adorable. So there we go. So like I said, 10 pages of ephemera, 14 papers to play with, and you have your Snowy Winter Volume 3. All three Snowy Winter kits are on sale. They're all 15% off for the month, which is awesome. Doing my Christmas in July thing. So yes, we have our cute things with little extras to tuck in. And I hope you're all doing well this evening as we're all coming off our high or coming home from work after being on 4th of July weekend or time off. I know it's sort of weird being a Tuesday. Some people actually had to go to work on Monday, had Tuesday off, and had to go back to work today. Or not today, today was Thursday. So this is your second day. Oh, to me, it's my day. For me, this is my day after 4th of July, and I'm like, oh my god. I pooped. We were up late because everything was loud, so 4th of July was nice. We had a great midday with my parents. We played cornhole and we barbecued and had good food, and then we got all the leftovers and we all went home and, hung out and hid in our houses as everything was loud and obnoxious, because the word illegal means nothing to California or anybody else. They go by the fireworks and they set them off, hoping not to take anything out. Ha ha. I think one of my daughter's friends said they had a neighbor who tried to shoot off a firework and it backfired or exploded near his face, and so that didn't go well. I was like, oh no. Never fun when you have to call the ambulance, whether for yourself or for a neighbor. Oh well. Yeah, people will be people. But we just sort of hid. My girls are at an age where they don't really... I think we went to a scheduled firework to a point they wouldn't mind, but they're not too heavy on the whole, just watching them randomly from anywhere, so... And with their dad not here, they don't really want to do street ones either, so Dad's not here to light them, so it's sort of a bummer for them. I did give you two cute little extras here, besides the journal cards you have, and even the tall tags you have on the other side. You can, put just about anything in these guys. Alright, so I'm going to put this aside. Here's your example. So A is a big one, B is the faux flap, C is our owl, and D is this cute little skinny guy that I made so that you could... I always hate covering too much up of your pretty main page, but I just realized we're covering up almost all of the goodies on this one. I'm a dork. Well, it's too late now. It's already out. People bought it. I don't know. You have to tell me if you're like, no, go simple with it. Like I said, you could use it as a template. And, I have a thought to that. Ooh, I have a thing. Not using it the way it's meant to be, but maybe we can hinge it. I have a feeling you could glue it down, but I'm wondering if we could hinge this. Hinge it and make it a different type of tag. I have a feeling. You never have to use exactly as I mention it. You are all very talented ladies and gentlemen, and there are more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. So, we can use things however we see fit. It is a full page, or just about. It takes up almost a whole 5 by 8 page. When I first made it, I made it huge, and we're like, that doesn't fit on a page. It was so funny. Which was great. I made a cute standalone concept, but then it was like, oh, well, I gotta fix that before I list it. Thinking of Touch of Romance, I made it huge, which was great, because I put it in a journal. A journal spread later, a 2-page journal spread, and use it personally, but yeah, I know. I was like, that doesn't fit in the proper journal. I'm so sorry. But I think we were able to fix it before it ever got posted, or no one had bought it yet, so it was funny. You're like, just because it fits on the 8.5 by 11 page does not mean it fits in your journal. These scallops are sometimes my enemy. there's no, I normally do, I have little scissors usually, but I'm just trying to quickly show you guys some fun things. I don't know, why not? Okay, so let's get to the baking of that. I will just do a quick cutout so I don't lose this. But yes, a few little extra somethings are always fun. Don't need both of those. Hopefully the instructions make enough sense, especially if you're new to me. You're like, what? Okay, so now the fun part is you do want to do some distressing. I am using a hickory smoked oxide from Tim Holtz. It's one of my favorites. I wanted silver for things, especially when you do a blue. And the hickory smoke is actually a great accent. I'm actually going to zoom in just a little bit. And my poor phone is overheating. Oh. It's the only downside with the, on the canvas lamp, because the light is right underneath it, it actually warms up my phone, which is not on my top 10 list. Alright, we are going to distress everything really quickly. I pre-set up my ink a little bit, that's why I'm not, this is working pretty well. I did not do a great job, but I can now just cover that white with the silver. There's a little bit of a distressing around the edge in the graphic itself to give you a head start, and you can either go over it with your antique, you can find a silver, a gray, a dark blue. I don't know if he has any blues. He probably does. But I love my hickory smoke. It's a great silver, especially with being an oxide. It has a great feel to it, so I'm okay with it personally. That is my, favorite, my forte, my everything. So, hope you're all doing really well. If you've been following me, you're coming, okay, I'll do that yet. Coming and going and getting this done. Now, so technically, you would glue this just to the inside of that. This we will glue down. I made sure we didn't cut too much off, and we are going to do him. And you can do this either way. You can, I think I'm going to go this way with it. I don't remember how I had it in the thing, but I think we're going to go that way with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm debating on not gluing it down to that. I've got another thought in mind, so we don't really lose all that. Now this one, you aren't going to do a perfect glue. You're going to go around the corner. You're going to go across the top. This is just a suggestion on how it was inspired and made. But you leave the bottom open so that you can actually tuck up into it. You can actually take also, I think, one of the belly bands I made, the little, like the owl one, and you can go across here as another way to tuck. So one, I glue it to where you can tuck something up, so that littler one works nicely. And then this one, of course, you just go, what did I just say, this way? Yes, so you want to do again, another pocket, right? So you're just going to go 3 sides, make sure you get the right 3 sides. Not that there is a right or wrong to this one, which is great, but I think I do like it this way because it sort of, now everything should sit just barely inside the other, but it all depends on how you cut. Like, that's my problem, right? If I cut one too short or too tight. There we go. So everything can go here. Everything can go up here. And if you really want to owl this up, you would take the, I have been known to take any kind of a belly band that I create, like this guy, and you could fussy cut him and go right across the owl to help tuck something like bigger behind it. I have really, overly tucked these suckers and made them something else. I'm a little off up here and it's bugging me, so I'm actually going to, it's supposed to be like a faux, like you took this page and you folded the top down. It's like you folded this down so you could see behind it, but we're really just, pretending, and you're putting a faux flap on the page so you're not making it super thick. That's my print job, or my cut job is terrible. All right, so there we go. So my thought was, if you didn't want to cover up all these lovely critters, was that you would get your favorite paper, get one of the papers, one of the background pages, make it a scrap. You could get the pad. You could get the section of these guys since it's all blue. And you could, how do I do this? Yeah, if you print on the back of this page, the second page, print on the back, do a backing, get a piece of paper. I would truthfully, I can't do it now, it's going to be a problem. I'll have to print this page separately. Print this page, maybe upside down technically, so you get darker up here. But that way you have this on the back side, and then take a piece of it and glue it here and glue it behind so that you don't block anything here, but you can hinge this pocket open on the page. And if you glue the flap down to the background or to the back of this, and you also glue this only two-sided to the page, you could tuck something back here. You can make maybe even a tiny little notepad that, you know, you can still open, little note area, and you could write on the back of this because you're flipping it open. So you put this on the right-hand side page, this now flaps open. You get writing space here. You can still see this. You could put a belly band here and tuck something else in it. You could just do the two sides and tuck it in. So that is something I'm going to have to make a note on, and I'm going to have to try to do. I think when I do a page, I'm going to have to make a page and see if we can get that to work. So I don't want to keep you guys forever since I don't have it all prepped ready to go. I'm now going to have to get crafty and figure out how to make this work. But what a wonderful way, another way to use this double pocket tag. Who says it has to be all glued down together, right? I'm going to do a little bit of distressing just because I want to make sure it makes it easy to put my next page on. But I think that's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to make this, you know, pocket something that we are just going to, you know, open up and have writing on the back and the ability, maybe a belly band here, so we can stick something else into it and something behind it. So we're going to make it multiply possible. Instead of tucking it something right down here, we're going to use it in another fashion. So hopefully you guys saw that, and I did not have it up too high. Watch, I probably did. But anyway, yeah, print on the back, make a piece of extra paper to make yourself a little bit of a tab that you're going to glue on here. And truthfully, you would do even better. Actually, do what I'm going to do. You're going to get that piece of paper. It can be any paper. It can be scrap paper. Glue it down here. Glue it to the back side of this. Then cover this with your paper that you want to write on. And all you have to do is then glue these two corners down to reinforce that tab. And it will stay put. And you can then just flip this around and not have to see that paper tab at all. So yeah, don't print on the back. Get some scrap paper. Print on a nice light piece of paper. Print one of the backgrounds that you like. Whether it's to make another pocket on it, pocket it up. Whatever you do, I think we could pocket on top of pocket. We could writing space. We can belly band. We can do a lot of cute little things with this kit and keep building on it. So I will work on those pieces, and I will do maybe a quick reel on Instagram of me putting this together onto a page. I'll probably get a page. Watch, I'll get a page together, even though the kit, I don't have a journal together. But I sort of watched Rhoda the other day, and she had done some pages already up together, and then so she was picking and choosing where she wanted to put them in a journal, and I was like, well, that's sort of smart. Like we pre-make ephemera, why not pre-make pages, you know, and then put the journal together as you've got pages done. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our winter, third winter kit. It is our Snowy Winter 3. It is on sale in my shop all month. The link is down below for both the shop and the direct link to this kit. And we have 24 beautiful pages to play with and add to all of your winter dreams if you're not a Christmas person. So love you all. We'll talk to you very soon. Keep an eye out and definitely check me out on Instagram or my personal page on Facebook under Jolene Burt for all the updates, little reels, and fun things that I'm doing that are quick and easy. And just keep the big stuff here on YouTube. So talk to you all real soon. Love you guys. Bye.